Let's get started.
Start me up,
Everybody. Rock your body, yeah. Who?
Hello and welcome to this Monday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. We hope you had a lovely weekend with barbecues and all for the sunny weather, John. But it's back to dark clouds over Scotland after that performance at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
I got up 2 hours early. 2 hours early. Rushed about like a lunatic in my work to go and see Scotland in a major tournament for the first time since I was 9 years old.
Yeah,
and they get beat 2-0. Yeah. Absolutely brutal, Stephen.
Yeah. Did you expect anything less?
I fully expected them to win today, Stephen. Czech Republic are a joke of a weird Even their beer's shite.
Well, John, it's going to be interesting because the next game they play is on Friday night.
Yes, can't wait.
We're doing a review on Friday.
Yes. We'll do it early, Stephen. We'll get out of the way early. Or we'll do it late. We can do it late. It'll be 8 o'clock.
I think we'll do it late. I think we'll do it after the game.
8 o'clock, quarter to 9.
We're going to be up there or we're going to be down there because we're either going to be up because we've bet the English or we're going to be way down there because
we better beat the fucking English.
Out the tournament. Out in our arses, as they say.
I think we'll get a draw.
Yeah.
We'll go up for it.
Enough of this soccer talk.
The English are shite.
Let's get off our asses here and start talking about entertainment news because that's what we're here for. That's what we do here at MBE. And on this Monday night, we're talking about Indiana Jones 5 set photos reveal Toby Jones' new Indy Sidekick, John. Now, this is coming in from Screenland. Yeah, little Toby. Yeah, Toby Jug. Yeah. Anyway, new set photos from production on the highly anticipated Indiana Jones 5 highlight the famed archaeologists alongside new sidekick actor Toby Jones. We know him mostly from the Captain America films, John. But
Jesus Christ, that's like an eye test.
But it's a good job I'm not reading off that because that is an eye test and a half. But the latest photos from the set of Indiana Jones 5 have revealed Indy's new sidekick, played by Toby Jones. The fifth instalment in the iconic action-adventure franchise has only recently begun filming in the United Kingdom here. And so far, Indy's creating quite the star amongst fans. There's been no shortage of speculation regarding some past photos from the set, with Harrison Ford and series newcomer Mads Mikkelsen also having been spotted off camera. John, this is great news though, isn't it? We're big fans of Toby Jones. He's a fantastic actor. We were talking about him just before we came on. We weren't sure if he was English or German. The performance that he played in those Captain America films convinced us otherwise, or put it in our heads, is he German?
It's like Daniel Bro. Is he Spanish or German? Well, he's Spanish and German. Well, little Toby. You got to stop saying that. You stop saying it, man. It's harsh. Hello, Ruth, incidentally. Toby, he's a great actor, Stephen. I hated him. Funnily enough, we're going to be speaking about Jurassic World shortly, the Minion. He was in Fallen Kingdom, he played a little cretinous fuckpig in it, to not mince my words. He was just annoying, Stephen, and I think he actually played a German. No, he didn't play a German in that. I'm obsessed with Germans. Germany are playing tomorrow, Stephen. I'm waiting on my Black Deutschland top coming. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He's not German though. He never played a German in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but he was an absolute pain in the arse in it, Stephen. A little sort of billionaire figure. And obviously he sort of comes into prominence in the second half of that movie when it's set in that sort of mansion and the Indoraptors running about doing its thing. But we'll speak about that shortly, I'm sure about it. Yeah. Stephen, it is a good casting choice. I'm looking forward to this. I was looking forward to it anyway. You put Phoebe Waller-Bridge in there. You've got Thomas Kretschmann, absolutely love that guy. He's been in a multitude of great German movies. Pianist, Stalingrad, a lot of other good movies as well that weren't German, or went set in Nazi Germany. He likes to play Nazis, and maybe he's playing one in this as well. And then you factor in Mads Mikkelsen, and then this casting, and I think there's another sort of mysterious female figure who's going to be playing a sort of FBI, CIA agent who's watching Mads Mikkelsen with great intrigue. That's yet to be announced. I think it was Scarlett Johansson they were looking for initially. Yeah. But with this choice, Stephen, I think this is a great choice, man. It's further expanding the talent which is in this cast. And look, man, he's playing the sidekick. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who's played sidekicks before in these movies. I know Sean Connery kind of played a sidekick.
Well, Denham Elliott, he played Marcus Brody, who was... He always had those funny one-liners. The pen is mightier than the sword and all that. And there's always that Ray Winston I think he double-crossed him, did he not, in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
A great actor again. It's always a prominent actor, John, that plays these roles.
Stephen, and it's great you've added Toby Jones in there, because he is, Stephen, despite the joking about his stature and lack thereof, he is a fantastic actor, man, and look, he's done a wide variety of roles over the years, so it's going to be really interesting to see this guy bouncing off of Harrison, and I'm sure there will be laughs in there, I'm sure there'll be poignant moments in there, because this is going to be the swan song for this character, Stephen, we know that for sure. He ain't going to be seeing another instalment, he's knocking on 80, and look, he's super fit. I read an article the other day, he's doing 40-mile cycles every single day. So this guy's fitter than me at the age of 79, 80.
And I can manage three miles.
I think I could probably do a sizable amount of mileage. I've got very strong legs. It's one of the things I really do excel at. I've got chunky legs, and it's mostly muscle. But I don't think I could do 40. So I think that speaks volumes, I should say, to the fitness of Harrison Ford. But that aside, I don't think he will be doing another Indiana Jones movie. This will be the last one. So they have to get it absolutely perfect for the guy, Stephen. I think they got the handling of Han Solo perfect in The Force Awakens. There's a lot of flaws in that sequel trilogy, but the handling of him, the relationship with his young son, the strain, I can't even speak, the strain between him and obviously Leia. The way he went out, the laughs, it was just a perfect performance. So I want to see that in this movie, and hopefully it's aided and not abetted by Toby.
Do you think he will be killed off?
I hope not, Stephen. I hope not. This is not the character you kill off. Han deserved to be killed off. He should have been killed in The Return of the Jedi. That was something that was required. I don't want to see Indiana Jones get killed off. He is the kind of guy you think of as being immortal. Because of course he drank from the cup, didn't he? So he should have immortality, really. So he technically shouldn't be able to die. Because he did. He drank from the cup, didn't he? What one was that? The Holy Grail?
The Last Crusade,
Last Crusade. That was that the Connery one?
It was, yeah.
It's the one I always think of, Steve, my favourite.
I think he had to use some of the water on Connery, or his dad, whatever it was called. Henry.
That's right, he did. Yes.
He was wounded, so it was a great effect, as I recall, for its day anyway.
I wonder if the Corridor crew have covered that one. Presume they have. They've done a lot of.
They might have done an R-rated version. They're very good at doing that. I remember the Home Alone one. That was fantastic.
But they do. I think they did a Harry Potter one as well.
Yeah, I think they did a Star Wars one as well. They're talented guys, John. And we're going to stay on that.
Ryan Johnson's in that, isn't he?
We're going to stay on the theme of Indiana Jones 5, but also talking about CGI as well, John, because there has been photos suggesting that Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI as well. This is coming in from Screen Rant once again via Daily Mail, I think. So clicking it,
everyone's favourite rag.
Yeah, clicking it if you will. But new set photos from Indiana Jones 5 were publicised.
I actually did click on set photos of also Toby Jones as well, but I forgot to bring them up because, as you know, I had to restart the PC, so that's unfortunate.
That's okay.
But I'll bring them up.
That's fine.
We'll get them.
Yeah, but they were published online by the Daily Mail that revealed Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI for portions of the movie.
I think it's the same photographs anyway, man.
Portions of the movie, John. Portions of the movie. We're not getting a de-aged Harrison Ford for the entirety of the movie, but Ford is shown wearing Indiana Jones' signature costume, but the star also has black dots on his face. These dots are traditionally used as reference points for visual effects artists, so actors can be de-aged in post-production.
It's
going to be interesting, John, if they're saying portions of the movie, so clearly we're getting flashbacks.
Stephen, I wonder if this will work.
It's going to be very interesting, I think. How far back are we going? How far back are we going, John?
That's worked. I don't know, Stephen. Look, I'll try and bring this up and make this work in a coherent manner. Have us both on the screen whilst we sort of critique these images. If I can see where the mouse cursor is, it's not really working, Stephen, is it? It looks very big. If you bear with me here, and you can see all my actual, what do you call them, bookmarks as well, so that's unfortunate. I'm having that fucking mare here, man. I just cannot work it. No, it's not working. We'll go back to the split screen. I can't see what I'm doing.
Just take our words for it, guys. There is a link on the website. And
Stephen, we'll go to you whilst we speak about it, and we'll have a look. Okay. You can see it there.
This way, John, because it looks better. It looks like I'm looking at it.
Stephen, I unflipped it because, as you know, I had to use your camera because my camera's cable was goosed. So, or the power, the dummy battery was goosed, so I had to use your camera. I unflipped it. I don't look good on that side. You look good on both sides, but I've got a bent nose, as you know, Stephen, and it just looked strange. I looked like a sort of Muppets extra, so it wasn't a good look. I had to unflip it. But Stephen, look, man, you can see it there. He's sort of gallivanting around in the grass. He's looking fantastic for his age, I have to say. But as you can see, there is a shot. I don't know what shot it is. Maybe this one here.
I see Toby Jones is the one above.
Yeah, Toby Jones, there he is. Very much hairless. This guy doesn't care about his looks.
No.
He has a similar kind of hairdo to me, but he continues to hang on to it and flick it up in a strange manner. Almost like your old driving instructor, Stephen. Bill. We'll not speak about Bill because he went down a very dangerous route. Indeed, I think you get jailed. But Stephen, you can see there's little dots. I'm sure it's this image. There is little black dots sprinkled around his face, very much like Andy Serkis's sort of mocap performance in obviously the Planet of the Apes trilogy and what he did in a numerous amount of movies. This guy's the mocap king.
Mark Hamill as well.
Mark Hamill as well, yeah.
Quite a few cameos in The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker as well.
Yeah. Well, also they kind of changed his hair colour and made him a little bit younger, didn't they?
Yeah, they were throwing him a bone. They knew they'd pissed him off big time.
Stephen, in terms of actual timelines though, I'm not entirely sure where this could fit in. Obviously I did cover, I'll go to me briefly, Stephen, I'll not hang on me too long because it's not a good look.
Yeah.
I did cover it briefly, Stephen, last week, that there was once again leaks, and that's another thing I'm concerned about, the actual amount of leaks from the set of this movie. It's almost too leaky. It's like the complete yin to the yang of J.J. Abrams' sort of mystery box. Every single fucking scene's getting leaked to the world. But Stephen, there was a locomotion train, a steam train, sort of doing the rounds around, I think, Yorkshire. So that would suggest that it is going back to steam train era.
John, what I'm going to say here, you made a good point then in terms
1950s,
of
40s,
the lack of secrecy regarding this film. The amount of
it's incredible.
Shots we're getting over the last 2 weeks has been ridiculous. we never got anything for any Star Wars films. This franchise itself, John, I don't know if they have got the confidence for this 5th instalment that they think leak stuff out. Let's get people's, the sort of excitement going.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. The actual train shots, there was multiple locations, and it was cutting to multiple locations along the path of this train. Now I don't know if the guy's in with the actual crew, he's get sort of prior information and set the cameras up, but it was so slick, and it was almost like the actual crew were putting this out to show you the Nazi insignia on the train. It's a flashback, so it's going to go back to at least the 1940s, 30s.
Ruth makes a good point here. She says since he will be de-aged for part of the film, maybe they may want to develop some plot point with the Nazis in the past and continue into the present times. Makes perfect sense.
That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. You're on the money there, Ruth. There was talk, and look, I hope it's true, there was a leaked sort of script. I'm sure it's not all right, but I'm hoping that there's elements getting picked out for the actual movie, that it was going to be Operation Paperclip, the space race, not rage as I said earlier. In America, they cherry-picked the best Nazi scientists from Nazi Germany, brought them over, sort of admonished them of their sins, and they worked in getting them to the moon before the Soviet Union. And that's what I think the backdrop of this movie is rumoured to be set against, if you like. I don't know if that even makes sense, set against, but he's going to be going after Nazis within the United States sort of government, the umbrella Nazi, sort of NASA, if you like, because NASA's famously a Nazi organisation. I can't recall the actual guy who came over that led them to the moon, but that was just apparently going to be the backdrop. So it would make sense if they go flashback and it establishes a connection, a relationship with some arse-white Nazi figure, and then it fast forwards, it may be Mads Mikkelsen, and he bumps into him in the States, and that's the sort of premise he's doing. I'm not going to write the whole fucking movie. I don't know how it's going to work out. It'll just disappoint me if it doesn't work out exactly as I anticipate it. But I think she might be right, Ruth. It might be that they go back, establish a connection with Mads Mikkelsen, because he is going to be the villain, and then it goes forward to the 60s, and he's there, and he has to stop him or something. I don't know, man. I'm very excited about it, Stephen. Yeah, very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing a young Harrison Ford again, because I put it on the actual thumbnail. The guy was fucking unreal in his pomp, man. Just unbelievable shape, amazing hair, tall as hell, just an absolute bona fide star. So I cannot wait to see this guy, much like Kurt Russell, much like Robert Downey Jr. in his young form again, because we know they can do it, and it's Disney. They know they can do it right. Yeah, so it's going to be very, very cool. If
it's not for the entirety of the movie as well, then they can do that. They can do it for certain scenes, I think, and it will work. I didn't want to see them doing it for the whole film. I want to see Harrison Ford the way he is. The guy keeps himself in shape, looks after himself. It'd be a shame to hide that, with all the CGI.
I don't think we're there yet.
I don't think so. Not for an entire movie, John. They talked about the Luke Skywalker thing in The Mandalorian. That was great for that little sort of 5 minutes at the end of season 2. And then we're talking about a whole series of doing a
Sebastian
de-aged.
Stan has to come in.
It has to be, John. I don't want to see a de-aged Mark Hamill as much as I want to see Mark Hamill play Luke Skywalker forever.
It just negates from the performance, Stephen,
Yeah.
as well, because you're drawn to the actual visuals,
Yeah.
and it takes away from the performance. Because Stephen, look, I enjoyed the cameo, or the visual cameo of his face, but it wasn't lifeless.
No.
It wasn't life.
No,
there was no life. It was lifeless.
It was
And
it was a little shaky.
Yeah, I mean,
when he was speaking.
Funnily enough, the actual corridor crew, again, I keep speaking about these guys today, they actually went in, took someone from their team who had the similar jawline and dimple in the chin. Not dimple, but what do you call that? Sort of little, he's getting a little thing in his chin. They took him and deep faked him, and it was unreal. Yeah, a little sort of, I don't know what you call that, but he's got it anyway. And they did a great job, Stephen, of actually deep faking it, and it looked much more realistic because the eyes were moving and there was life. So you can't do it for a full movie. So I'm hoping that we'll be consigned to a little flashback, and it will be something that is pertinent to the actual present day in the movie. And it's done well, because I want to see a youthful Harrison, but like you, I want to see him in his older years as well, wiser.
I remember when we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that Kurt Russell scene blew us away. It was the first 5 minutes of the movie.
It was like Kurt Russell from Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
So they can do it right, and they know not to overuse it. They know it's a nice little novelty thing, but it's not something that can last. You're not there yet. It can't last the whole movie. Stephen, Ruth right as well. There was Nazi trucks leaked. Images of it. I think it was an actual train, a steam train, locomotion train. It was a sort of eagle thing on the side. So it's definitely going back to Nazi Germany again. There's this sort of infatuation with it.
Apparently Mickelson said that the script of Indiana Jones was everything he wished it would be, which is a little cryptic, but it's still a very positive sign. As for that type of actor, Ruth, you're absolutely right. Someone like him does not just jump into any old movie, and even if any old franchise. Now, a lot of actors would jump into Indiana Jones franchise just for the sake of exposure. He's not that type of guy. He doesn't need exposure.
No.
This guy picks his roles very carefully, and you're absolutely right. If he's read that script and he likes what he's seen and it's everything he wished for, then we know it's going to be a good script.
Stephen, look, man, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in there as well. She's much the same. She's a great producer, writer, won umpteen Golden Globes, awards in general, respected by everybody. So she's come in. There must be a script there, and Mangold's there, so there must be a good script there.
Yeah.
The fact James Mangold's directing this is enough for me. I think the guy's absolute box office gold. He's proven. You just look back at his list of movies, it's undeniable how good the guy is. I think he's perfect for continuing the sort of Steven Spielberg, taking the mantle on from him. Steve, I think this movie's going to be brilliant, man.
John,
it'll be much better than the other one.
Logan, just when we're talking about him, I felt Azurin when we watched that had a Logan feel to it.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that on Friday night to you. It just came into my head there when you were talking about James Mangold, but anyway,
it was great. Stephen, it was great. I loved that movie, man. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
It was the sort of restraint in him as well. He had a bad, obviously, past, very much like Logan, and wanted to keep a lid on things, and then
he had a sort of, what would you call it? A dependent. A vulnerable dependent. In this case, it was his son. He could handle himself, but then obviously in Logan, it was Patrick Stewart and his dementia. Riddled Charles Xavier. Stephen Merchant as well, he's sort of albino.
The son,
Rufus says, apparently Mickelson says that, I think you've read that, haven't you? I'm tripping out my napper.
That's okay, John.
I'm very tired, man. I've been up since 10 o'clock. That's very early for me. When you go to your bed at 4:30 in the morning, you get up at 10.
Curses Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland.
But anyway, John,
we're going to... Don't come home too soon.
Well, the fact is, John, they're playing at home. They can't. So
they still come home too soon. Fuck me, Scotland. Only Scotland can come home too soon. In Glasgow. Wow. Colin Hendry was on the radio today as well. Fucking hell. Absolute Jonah.
Anyway,
great player, Jonah.
We're going to move on swiftly to our next topic. It's all about Jurassic World 3. Director confirms original trio are in the whole movie. This is coming in from Screen Rant. The original Jurassic Park trio of Sam Neill, Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum will be in the entirety of Jurassic World Dominion, according to director Colin Trevorrow. Goldblum reprised his beloved role as Ian Malcolm in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and he'll be joined by his former co-stars when Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, and Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern, return in the upcoming sequel. When older characters are brought back in major franchises, often in the form of small cameos. But according to Trevorrow, the original trio are major players in the events of Jurassic World 3. John, this doesn't surprise me about Colin Trevorrow. This is what he wanted to do for episode 9 He wanted to bring those three guys, those three, the big three, back for the finale of the Skywalker saga. So this does not surprise me that he has done this. We talked about this maybe about a year ago, John, when they were talking about, obviously, Sam Neill and Laura Dern coming back. Jeff Goldblum was going to come back because he was in the last movie. Our concerns were how much space and how much time do you give these characters coming into an established franchise with established characters already, in the form of Dallas.
Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt. And Chris forgetting their name as well, Stephen.
John, it's like the Joseph Gordon-Levitt thing. Joseph Levitt.
And
get the name
David
wrong.
John Washington, John David Washington. Love the guy, just can't remember his name. Clearly,
and the guy from Gregory's Girl as well, John Gordon Sinclair. Gordon John Sinclair.
Stephen, there's another guy, isn't there? There's a sort of Tom Hardy lookalike. He's got a double barrel name as well. He's unreal, that guy. I don't know what his name is, but for me, he's Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy could take a year off from acting, just send that guy in.
Yeah, he's
boom.
Double. Yeah.
It's like Nick Fury in the MCU. Skrull, Kree. Just disappear for a year.
Skrull, the
Skrull, the Kree, the Krull, the Soul, the Sea. The sun, the sea, and the sky. Stephen, I'm going off on a tangent here, man. Look, I did hear about this, that they were going to have a sizeable part in this movie, and I was concerned, Stephen, that it would maybe overshine. That doesn't even make sense. Overshadow. Brain's starting to shut down. Outshine the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard sort of performance, because these guys have been holding it together for 2 movies now, and they've done very well, Stephen. The box office performance has been well.
The first one to the curb.
No, you don't kick him to the curb, Stephen. The first movie made over $1 billion. The second one not quite as much, but it still did well. It was a success, so much so that they greenlit the trilogy. It's completing it. The one thing it does give me confidence is Colin Trevorrow coming in here and actually helming it, because he started it, Stephen, and much like J.J. Abrams, it's fitting that he ends it, but I'm just hoping he does a better job than JJ did, because JJ was backed into a corner with Rian Johnson and he ultimately couldn't end it coherently. But that was down to the shambles behind the scenes, lack of structure in the whole story. And I think JJ actually came out recently and spoke about that. He was disappointed, and he's learnt from it that you have to have one coherent plan for the whole story. You can work within the confines of that plan and do what you want, but it has to be certain elements which are unchangeable.
I love the way that he's learnt from it.
He's learnt from it now, It's too fucking late. Exactly.
Apparently, rule 1 in directing and fucking writing films is make sure you've got a full story before you even pick up a camera.
And you think it'd be, look at the Terminator. That's a perfect example of what happens when a franchise doesn't have a fixed beginning and end. It's just a shambles. You've got charts now fucking all over the place.
They don't know how to end it.
They don't know how to end it, man. They don't know what's going on. There's timelines. It's like a fucking game of snakes and ladders. It's all over the place,
like
man.
Family tree,
Absolute shambles. Steve, don't speak to me about family trees, man. I've got complete randoms fucking messaging me. I see we've matched on family tree DNA. I don't know the connection either. Who the fuck are you? You're like a third, fourth cousin of a great grandparent I've never known. So don't message me. I only did this to find out my ancestry. I don't fucking care about obscure family connections. But Stephen, I don't know where I went with that, man. The original tree, it's great to see they're coming back, man, because look, this is going to be the end of Jurassic World as well, Jurassic Park, I feel. I don't think we'll have many more movies. And this is the last chance to do what they should have done in Star Wars. You're absolutely right comparing it to that, by bringing back everybody and ending it nicely. And Stephen, we will get into another topic regarding this and the sort of fixation on science in this end, in the end of this movie. It's nice to see them getting back to the roots. Clearly Trevorrow is a fan of Jurassic Park. He understands the core of that first movie, the world, and he's now going to bring it all back and neatly finish it. And that's what we would have got with Star Wars.
Let's talk about that now then, because that's just bringing us right nicely into this part of the discussion. With Jurassic World 3 is a science thriller that explores genetic power. This is the words of Colin Trevorrow once more, John, and I'll read this little bit, then you can give me your thoughts on this, John, because I know that you've got a lot you want to say about this. During his exclusive interview with Screen Rant, director Colin Trevorrow discussed how that premise will continue in Jurassic World Dominion, calling the movie a science thriller. Trevorrow explained that the movie navigates the power of genes and the natural strength and perils both dinosaurs and humankind possess, and this is what he had to say.
Yes.
One is, we wanted to get the dinosaurs off of the island, which we've been on for 4 movies, was something we needed the movie to do. I love what Jay did with that movie, and I was really into the idea of them being displaced and put out into a world they didn't understand and wasn't welcoming of them at all. I was really fascinated with the opportunities this movie presented, and also the movie is much more of a science thriller. We haven't really been able to talk about genetic power and the danger inherent in it, what these dinosaurs existing on our planet right now really represents, and how it all ties into the dangers we face today. So that's what we've got to do, and obviously I've got to be able to work with I've got to be able to work with Laura Dern,
That's
Sam
a mistake
Neill,
from screen, right, Stephen? I know
Jeff
it.
Goldblum in order to tell that story. It was a bit of a dream. Can't believe it happened. John, back in 1993, I think this is the first film you saw in the cinema.
Yes, it was, Stephen.
That part of the movie was the most intriguing part for me.
It was.
You know, never mind your fucking T-Rexes chasing cars and stuff like that in the rain, and little glasses of water shaking.
Oh, that was good though, wasn't it?
I loved the science behind that first movie. It's something I always like about certain films, the explanation and the sort of origins of how it began.
Yeah.
You got that in Batman Begins. I'm always fascinated with how that origins started. Any origins I'm very interested in. You're going right back to an age.
Jurassic era. Triassic.
Yeah, exactly, John. And I loved the way that was explained in the first movie with the late great Sir Richard Attenborough.
Yes.
His character. I thought it was very fascinating. And it
must be deeply disappointing, Stephen. Sorry for cutting over.
That's going to sound silly though, John, what I'm about to say. It added some realism to the movie. Yeah. You could believe it.
Yeah,
you know,
Stephen, it can happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It technically could. I think they have they've resurrected a tiny little microbial life form that was frozen in Russia or something.
Yeah.
So they can do it if they get enough DNA. They would be able to probably bring it back in some bastardised form. It's something that is certainly possible. Stephen, I was about to say there, man, it must be so hard it must have been hard in the Attenborough household to be David. And to be as brilliant as that guy is, and he is brilliant, but to still be outshone by a brother, to be that fucking good, to be in this sort of... Yeah, but Richard was better, let's be honest, he was, man. He starred in the Great Escape. He was a better actor, just fucking better, period. I mean, he starred in the Great Escape, that's good enough for me. Stephen, I'm fascinated by this as well. It's the sort of moral dilemma of what you do with these dinosaurs. Do you bring them back? Do you reimagine what these animals were like for the humanity to see, and sort of prod and poke like they do with the animals these days, man? These sort of sea worlds and stuff, the sort of, I don't know, torturous way they keep these animals. That's a bone of contention with a lot of people. I know your ex-work colleague Stephen is a big advocate for releasing these animals, and I'm actually on her side as well. So I like that sort of morality. It was exploring that, and also Jeff Goldblum's been the voice of reason in these Jurassic World movies. He's been narrating the trailers, narrating this from a sort of courtroom.
Yeah.
The rights and the wrongs of keeping these dinosaurs on the planet, on this island. Now they're out and they're actually exploring the world at large. It's going to be very interesting, Stephen, to balance that throughout a whole movie. These fucking dinosaurs, pterodactyls flying around, and there was I seen a footage. I don't know if it was an actual piece of footage, but there was talk. I think Trevorrow was going to release it before another movie. I don't know what movie it is in the theatres, and show it an exclusive 5-minute piece of footage, and it showed you the actual dinosaurs rocking up, and like taking things out the sky and walking past people. It's going to be fascinating to see them actually. It's the most adventurous, how would you call it? Most ambitious sort of take they've had for a Jurassic Park World movie to date, because it's all been within the confines of this park in previous movies. Now they're exploring and expanding it out into the actual world. It's going to be fascinating. It's that scale, Stephen, that story of morality, the dinosaurs, the origins. What do you do with them? It's just fucking blowing up now. It's like a nuke went off, man. So it's going to be brilliant to watch.
But like, what's it called? Kong and
Kong versus Godzilla. Yep.
Yeah.
You bring Kong over to fight the threat.
Epicness, I think. Yeah. You know.
Stephen, it is, man. I can't know. And apparently the T-Rex is going to be back. It's going to be the sort of central character, dinosaur character again. They begin with the T-Rex and they end with it, apparently. That's going to be poignant.
Yeah.
Because I grew up watching that movie.
Ruth also said that she did read somewhere that Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum will appear throughout the film.
Looking forward to seeing Jeff and his jazz hands.
I can't wait to see Sam Neill as well. He's a good guy, John. Also, Chris Pratt compared it with how in Endgame all the characters come back together. So maybe the older actors in Jurassic may have more of an important role rather than just a guest appearance. Well, John, the director's talking about the science thriller. Yeah. It can't be a science thriller without the Sam Neill and the Laura Dern characters. That's what they were brought in initially.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt's playing a behaviourist who can sort of bond with the little velociraptor things, but he's not a scientist. And Stephen, I think the nature of this story, it being a grander scale, set throughout different locations, they're out in the wild, you can't have a single perspective. You can't have two people taking on all of these dinosaurs and try to save them, balancing the morality of killing and saving them. You need multiple characters and multiple perspectives. Jeff Goldblum doing something, Sam Neill and Laura Dern doing something, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard doing something. You're going to need to have 3-4 different perspectives in this movie. It's too big, so it's required, it's a necessity. It's just handling it, not overshadowing the other characters that held things together for the other two movies. You need to bring them in and be delicate with it. But I think Trevorrow, we've seen the script for episode 9, his idea, I thought it looked amazing. It was much better than what we got. I think he will do it justice.
Yeah.
Got another comment. Dr. Jones, is that
Dr. Jones, yeah.
Dr. Jones calling Dr. John.
What do you hope that don't happen in the Indiana Jones 5? We talked about
Indiana doesn't die.
Yeah, the death of him. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We want this character to be immortal. John, I think as well that there's not much I don't want to see the kid again. I don't want to see. Not because it's him. I like him.
I do like Shia as well.
I just don't want. I don't think it's necessary. I didn't think it was necessary in the last movie. I felt that last movie, John, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they were trying to pass the baton onto the new generation, and Shia LaBeouf was going to head that up. Then obviously he had his problems. The film bombed anyway, so they were taking a break from the franchise. But I think that's initially where they were going with it. Yeah. I think that's why they introduced the kid. It was done up in the 50s, leather gear, the rocker. Guy. Yeah, but I don't want to see that. I don't really want to see that, John. Also, Ruth says the word Dominion suggests that there might be more exposure of the dinosaurs interacting with the general public. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen. It's like the footage I've seen. I'll need to try and find it. And maybe link it or something, but it was great. You've seen the pterodactyls, the dinosaurs sort of just casually walking past humans.
Yeah. John, see, as long as I've got my big oversized packet of chutes, I'll be fine. If you remember that advert.
Oh, we remember it well, Stephen. Godzilla, King of the Titans, I think it was, the trailer. You compared it to a chutes advert, and my God, they fucking went after you. They went after you. The Godzilla fan base are very protective of Godzilla.
Yeah, it was very Sinbad.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
And they went after you.
Yeah, it was shit.
Thankfully, the trailer was terrible. The way he ran across the city, just so unrealistic. It was like a Sinbad movie.
Do you know what it was like, him running across the city? It was like me walking across my daughter's Lego. That's what it was like. It must have hurt his feet standing in those buildings.
What was I going to say, Stephen? Thankfully, your Lighthouse comments, despite you comparing it to a Guinness advert, they actually went over better with the Lighthouse, the Robert Egger fan base. Clearly they're not as protective. Rufus says, I really do not think that Indiana Jones will die, especially like Stephen says, there's no real reason to do it. Exactly, man. Look, you can't kill him off. It would be pointless. Just let the character live on forever. Yeah. It's not like Han Solo. Han Solo you can kill off.
Give him an ending like Thanos in Infinity War. That porch scene.
Oh yeah.
Just let him sit down peaceful. And he's finally resting. Yeah.
Stephen, can he ever be peaceful though, Indy? I don't know if he's got it in him to be peaceful. He's a guy who's very spontaneous, adventurous. He's still doing it in his 70s, so I don't think he can actually sit. He's just that guy. He's got that, I don't know, desire to go out and taste the world. Stephen, man, look, he's the main character. You can't kill him off. Han Solo wasn't the main character in Star Wars. You had Luke Skywalker, for me, who was always the main character. It was all about the Skywalkers. So when you kill Han off, you've got other people to carry the mantle. And this one, you can't kill him off. He's the main guy. What the fuck do you do?
Exactly, John. It's the same with Jurassic World 3 as well. Yeah, you can't kill off the characters, as you said, from or fade them into the background. Who've carried the last two movies. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they balance that out. Because I do want to see these original characters back as well. I'm big fans of those characters. Yeah. Great actors as well, the trio. But I don't want to see them overshadow. I think there's a good balance there, John. You're talking about 5 big actors in there, John. I think
as Ruth says, man, Endgame, you had about 40 actors.
Yeah, they'll be able to do it. Yeah, exactly, John. It's going to be the last. I would say it's going to be the last Jurassic Park / World film we're ever going to get. So.
Sandro says toxic fans have been attacking the filmmaker of Indiana Jones. They've been attacking James Mangold. That's strange. Why would you do that?
On Twitter, John.
Twitter's a hideous hellhole place, man. Just full of the most the worst of humanity's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just horrendous.
Because they can say things and then just run away.
Exactly. They'd get a smack in the mouth if he says it in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that filter you need in real life.
We're going to move on anyway to a little filler topic before we go into our final topic, and it's all about Space Jam 2's new poster highlights. The Toon Squad.
Toon.
I said Toon.
June.
A new poster for
Toon.
Space Jam, A New Legacy, showcases LeBron James and the Looney Tunes gang ready to hit the court in Warner Brothers' sequel. And I like this poster, John. Everything I have seen about this film so far, I love. But following the release of the new Space Jam, A New Legacy trailer, showcased in CGI version of the Toon Squad, it's a funny thing to say. Warner Brothers will release yet another new poster for the Space Jam sequel. I think those look like mugs. The official the Space Jam A New Legacy Twitter account unveiled the poster featuring James in his full Toon. I'm going to say Toon, John. It doesn't.
Toon, it is Toon, yeah, it's Toon, isn't it? Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Tunes,
yeah. Squad uniform alongside the classic 2D versions of the Looney Tunes gang. Looney Tunes. The poster.
I call them Looney Tunes, to be fair.
The poster includes iconic characters such as Bugs Bunny, Speedy Gonzales, and Lola Bunny. And you can check out the poster, John. It's on the website.
The poster is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Let's bring it up and get
John,
it full screen.
I absolutely loved Speedy Gonzales as a kid. An amazing character. So
look
funny.
at that, man. Is that not incredible? It's so colourful. Love the purple and the orange. As I said before, despite it being something that is kind of against my grain in Scotland, because purple and orange is associated with the Orange Order.
That is great, though.
A hateful organisation.
Look at that. Yeah. In theatres, July 16th.
LeBron, a towering 6'8", I think. And also you've got the likes of the Tasmanian Devil, Speedy Gonzales, Bugs Bunny. They're all in there, Stephen. And it's bringing back my childhood. I grew up watching the original Space Jam. I grew up watching these characters, and it was a momentous time to be alive. I pity the young kids these days who have to watch the utter shite, the atrocious sort of CG dross that's out now. They never got to experience the finer intricacies of Ed, Edd and Eddie, of Scooby-Doo, Postman Pat, Fireman Sam, Space Jam, the Looney Tunes, Sylvester and Tweety Pie and all
Tom
that
and
shit.
Jerry, yeah.
They never got to experience that amazing storytelling. It was a simpler time, a better time. I loved the 90s. Oh man, not for football.
John, it's funny because when I was growing up, I wasn't a Disney kid at all.
I always was.
I was into the Warner Brothers stuff, the Looney Tunes. I was into Tom and Jerry stuff, and also those sort of random cartoons. I don't know where they dug them from, but they were always on Glenn Michael's Cartoon Cavalcade, which was a big thing
Stephen?
in Scotland at the time. And it was obscure cartoons, obscure superheroes, and that's what inspired Mark Miller to create Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
So I'm going off on a tangent here, but John, it's something about these characters: Sylvester and Tweety Pie, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Lola Bunny, Tasmanian Devil. The list goes on. The little old granny, I can't remember what her name is, but they're all fantastic. John, I'll tell you something else as well. I know we talk about LeBron James. He's not a patch on your man
Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
I was about to say Michael B. Oh.
But John,
he's not a patch in terms of playing.
Like what I see from this guy in this trailer so far. He does look a good fit for this movie.
Stephen, he's got a production company. He's deep in the movie business, and look, he is a good dude. I like him. He's quite active in the politics and stuff like that. So he's a guy that's quite forthright. Is that the correct word? So I enjoy him. He's a great player as well, a great basketball player, despite not quite being the real GOAT as Michael Jordan is.
Yeah.
Stephen, I'm looking forward to this. Exactly, Stephen. No one gets. I mean, Kobe and people like that, perhaps. But wait, man, no one's a fucking patch on Michael. He was unreal. Just a tour de force. Like Tiger in the golf, and like Tom, terrific in the NFL.
Guys that have been doing it for a good 3 decades, John, that have been in the limelight for that length of time. It's very hard to fill those shoes.
Stephen, I'm looking forward to the movie though, man. It does look good. I love the trailer. Love the different artistic styles, animation styles. It's going to be cool. Looking forward to watching it. Definitely going to give it a bash.
Sandro also says, just in regards to the Twitter stuff about Indiana Jones 5, he says, saying Indiana Jones 5 will be awful and the filmmaker blocked the toxic Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, is it him again?
And blocked his cult friends of Jeremy.
It's Jeremy again.
Yeah.
Jeremy is, how shall I put it, a very abrasive figure. Yeah. He almost seems to get off and
confrontation
and looking for it. Obviously the Zack Snyder thing was Zack. They done a charity stream for Zack Snyder, and Zack had to come on and sort of do a disclaimer before they actually spoke with him, and they took the hump with that as well, despite the fact they never actually connected the two things he says at the start of the stream. They went off and done a stream and they were ranting and raving. Look, man, I can take him in small doses, but look, I fucking hate that crap, that sort of constantly looking for controversy and shit like that. Just enough shit going on in life without adding to it with crap like that. So, yeah.
John, 16th.
I take the side of John Campea in that sort of battle between those two.
Yeah.
John Campea's fucking better than Geeks and Gamers all day long.
Yeah, John.
Better man.
July 16th is when this movie comes out, so we're a month away. We're just a little bit more than a month away from this. Are you going to go and see this in the theatres, John?
I will go and see this in the theatres. Yeah, I'm going to go and see A Quiet Place 2 at the weekend. Wait to see, just hot out of seeing Conjuring 3 finally. I love coming back to the theatre, Stephen. It's brilliant. Yeah. And you know the view in Hamilton, it's an amazing theatre complex.
Yeah, they've done well. They've done well considering. I was very impressed with them when we went to see Tenet last year.
Yeah, same. A lot of people not wearing masks though, funnily enough.
This toxic YouTubers think they own Lucasfilm and Disney. I totally agree, Sandro. I think they think that they owe them a living, in some way, that they owe them great stories, John.
Steve,
at the end
they
of the
think
day,
that they deserve their vision of the movie,
John,
to play out on the screen. I've
sort of made my peace with Lucasfilm and Disney in terms of Star Wars, where I grew up, and similar to yourself, I grew up with the original trilogy, and for a long time that's all we had. I've now came to the conclusion, it's took me a long time, and I've accepted it, that Star Wars is bigger than the original trilogy now. They're building worlds, and it's going to take them maybe about 2 decades to get there. And what they are doing is, John, they're catering for everyone.
Yeah,
we've seen that with The Mandalorian. That's your OG fans. That's catered for them. But they're going to do the High Republic stuff for the
new generation.
The new generation.
Stephen, look, man, I grew up with the prequels.
They'll have stuff for everyone. That's what they're trying to do.
I mean, I grew up with the prequels, Stephen, and people in my generation are now starting to change their mind on the prequels. So different generations are going to take it differently. I mean, there'll be people out there who grew up with the sequels who absolutely love the sequels,
John,
and they'll hate the
I also
originals.
think
Blasphemous
as well,
as it
that as much as I didn't like The Last Jedi for certain things, Mark Hamill was one of the best things in The Last Jedi. Yeah. Luke Skywalker was one of the best things, and he had to die at some point in the story.
Stephen, I'll say that.
And I think the way he went out was probably the best way. Yeah, did I want to see him wreak havoc on the First Order? Yeah, of course I did. But I got to see a glimpse of that in The Mandalorian. And if it's true, and they're going to be doing a Luke Skywalker television series, we'll see Luke at his peak.
And Stephen, what you did see in The Last Jedi with that version of Luke Skywalker, grizzled and bitter though he was, he was at peace, and he became the sort of perfect, not perfect. I'm not
perfect.
London, not from London. Perfect. Practice makes perfect, mate. Not from London. The perfect sort of form of the Jedi, non-violent.
Yeah.
Just absolutely destroying this new era of Sith, by teleporting across the galaxy. The Sith, only a Sith deals in absolutes. So Stephen, look, despite my hatred of certain elements in The Last Jedi, I think Luke was probably he paid him respect, Ryan, to be fair. He did. He made him the greatest Jedi of all time, until Rey comes back and does something fucking crazy, which will happen probably in Rian Johnson's trilogy. And then he'll completely destroy.
But anyway,
the one little trinket thing that I like about his movie, that and the Force FaceTiming, I did like that as well.
You liked the hold-on manoeuvre as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, cinematic.
Stephen, that was an amazing moment. Just silence in the theatre.
It was a great visual, but and soundscape as well was fantastic. John,
but it did create a sort of plot loophole. Why the fuck did they not do that at the Death Star?
I know.
Why did they never do that before? Because no one was stupid enough to do it except from Purple Rinse women.
Yeah, exactly.
Purple Rinse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway, we're going to move on to our final topic. We were talking about some poster. Forget what it's all about now. But anyway.
Sandro's saying to be like Loki episode 1.
Yeah.
Doomcock says it was awful. Doomcock's a tadger.
Is this the guy that doesn't show his face?
He's a fucking tadger.
Is it
I don't like to swear too much, but yes.
Yeah,
and if you don't know what tadger is, it's a slang term in Scotland for the male. How should we put it? Genitalia. He's a tadger.
Yeah. Well, it's in his name. John. But anyway.
It's true. He's an absolute tit of a guy. Honestly, I cannot stand him. Every time I see that channel, I just...
John, I don't like to talk about other YouTube channels.
It's a joke.
But I seen that once and it wasn't up my street. I'm not really that big on that type of... John, the Critical Drinker I was a big fan of, but the last few I've watched...
He's very bitter, isn't he? He's a very
I
bitter
don't know
guy.
what's going on.
He's from Aberdeen, isn't he?
Yeah, he is good. He's a great
Yeah, he is
analyzer
good,
of
man.
film,
He's-
John,
yeah.
and his early stuff was fantastic. The early hits was great. But
Stephen, in fairness, I did watch a sort of group thing with Critical Thinker and our Drinker, and they take apart elements of not WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Things I didn't notice, they kind of picked it apart analytically, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's fucking stupid.
Well, that's what he's good at, you know.
Yeah.
But there's just something. I think his tone's slightly changed. I think it's something to do with YouTube. I think everyone ends up all bitter and twisted and evil.
And
But
evil.
anyway, we'll move on
There's
to
more machine now than man.
Doomcock
I've
is.
betrayed and killed your
But
father.
anyway, John, Salman Khan, we're talking about here, to announce starring in the Hindi remake of Telepathy Vijay's Master. Right, let's get through this, John. Now, the reason I picked this is because I really want to pick your brains on this obsession. But before we do, John, I'm going to read this article coming in from indulgeexpress.com, and I'll try and get through it as quickly as possible because I read this earlier and I went, okay. Anyway, after the release of
Jesus
Salman
Christ, I
Khan's
cannot find
Radhe,
this voice cursor,
You
Stephen.
Most Wanted By, the actor has been in the news, not for all the good reasons. While that buzz is still on, a report about his possible upcoming project has surfaced on the internet. As per reports, Salman may star in the Hindi remake of Telepathy Vijay's Master. Earlier this year, the reports were that the makers of the film have approached Salman, and now another report suggests that the race star may announce the film soon. As per a report, the Hindi remake of Master will be produced by Murad Ketani and Endemol Shine India in association with 7 Screen Studios. Salman was shown Master before the lockdown, and he apparently had agreed to do the film, but the lockdown slowed down the process. As per a report, a source close to the makers will meet Salman again. Now the producers will meet him again to discuss the minor tweaks in the script, the possible dates for the shoot and the director. The makers are also on the lookout for an A-lister to take on the role played by Vijay Sethupathi in Master. By the end of the month, the Khandan will head to Goa for a vacation. If all goes well, now I'm just going, there's a pop-up just came up there. If all goes well, certainly isn't with my computer at the moment. If all goes well, after returning from the holiday, he will announce his new releases. Meanwhile, the producers of the Master Remake are scouting for an A-list star who can reprise Vijay Sethupathy's role and stand shoulder to shoulder with Salman. A source was quoted by a daily: "For those unversed, Master starring Telepathy Vijay and Vijay Sethupathi was a hit film that hit the screens in January 2021. Fucking 5 months ago. Later, it was released on OTT platform as well. The film revolves around an alcoholic professor named JD, Jack Daniels, played by Telepathy Vijay. Vijay Sethupathi essayed the role of the gangster who goes
Who are
against
they going to bring it to
Telepathy
do the
Vijay.
Vijay Sethupathi role? A Bhavani? Who the fuck's going to do that
Presently-
performance better?
Presently, Salman is enjoying family time at his farmhouse in Panvel. He was also seen in Anthem, The Final Truth with Ashish Sharma. Salman also has Kabhi Diwala and Kick 2 lined up for a shoot. He also has
Tiger
Tiger
3. To be fair, Tiger didn't look
with
decent.
Katrina Kaif and Emran Hashmi. Now, John, right,
Whoa.
now we can get into the nitty-gritty of this. Thanks for that article, Indulge
Sandro's
Express.
asking Master is a great South Indian Tamil movie from Telepathy Vijay. Can't even speak.
Yeah.
Recommend it.
Yeah, John, you've only YouTube views speak volumes of this
Just
film.
watch Vafi
Yeah.
coming on YouTube and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just unbelievable.
What is it up to now?
Stephen,
So many millions. isn't
Unbelievable,
it?
man.
Yeah,
Unreal.
yeah, views.
Cute story.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Master Blaster.
But John, we're talking about this remake. Now, we came to this realisation by doing a trailer reaction, and we weren't aware of remakes of films. Now, remakes it's not an unusual thing that happens anywhere in the world, but normally in the Western world, a remake is maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years apart from the original source. This is only 4 or 5 months away. This film is released, and it's getting a Hindi remake. Now, I'm not downing. This is the way that Indian movies are made. This is what they do in that part of the world, John. That's none of my business. But from a Westerner's point of view, I can't get my head round the point of it. That's my ignorance. So,
Stephen, well, I mean, Ruth knows better than us, and
Yeah.
she says I'm not happy about that. I don't think Salman will fit the tone of a VJ
No.
movie. I don't think. Look, Stephen, I've not watched any Salman Khan movies, so I can't possibly speak about what he can bring to a movie and not. But from the trailers I've reacted to, he strikes me as a sort of action hero. Sort of rough, tumble kind of actor, and I don't think he'll fit into sort of Telepathy. From what I've seen, is quite nuanced. He can bring some somber, quiet moments. He can bring some emotive moments, and then right away he's into action. I don't know if that guy's got that in his repertoire to do it. I don't know.
John, even if
watched.
He has,
it's not going to be as good as Vijay's. You need to go and watch that one. Steve, I'm like you. I can't grasp the whole Northern Indian remake thing, and I presume it is North Indian Hindi. We've seen it before. I think it was Drysham. We had the what's his face? I'm blanking on his name. Horrendous sort of Mahanlal in South India. He'd done Drysham 1, and then I think it was 2. But we had Ajay Devgan remake in the North. We reacted to the trailer, Stephen.
It confused the hell out of us.
Baffles me why they have to do remakes. Why can't you just watch a dub version of the South Indian movie, which will be much, much better?
Yeah,
that's just the way I see it. I can't get my head around the remake culture in India. It's fucking baffling to me, especially with the short times. And Steve, we actually seen, I think it was Siti Ma. We reacted to the Ali Arjun version, and then we reacted to the Salman Khan version.
Yeah,
I didn't even realise it was the same song. Different movies, same song. So there seems to be this sort of culture where the North seems to copy the South. I think the South Indian movie scene is on the rise. They're in a bit of a good place, and we've seen it. We spoke about it. Obviously COVID, they're sort of leading the charge out of recovery in terms of box office numbers. I don't know if it's the case now in India. I don't know how COVID's getting on over there, but the North was lagging, and it seems to me, from what I've seen, I'm just due to Indian movies, but they seem to be focusing in on what's the South's doing and trying to remake it. And it's weird to me. I don't understand it. It'll never be as good, Stephen, as the original.
Yeah, John,
you're never going to capture it with the music and stuff like that. It's just not going to be the same.
I don't know if it's just that the South at the moment are having this creative sort of spark, in original stories and stuff like that.
I don't recall. I didn't realise there was a Fly remake. Scarface is a Scarface remake.
I didn't know that either.
Is Scarface a remake of an original?
When Sandra put that post up, I was actually thinking of remakes that I actually do like, and I can't think of any off the top of my head.
For me, Pet Sematary, because I've never seen the original. I may watch the original and disagree.
No, I can't think of any at the top of my head.
I'm trying to think of remake, Stephen. Period.
I mean, I'm not going to go with reboots. I mean, Man of Steel I would never compare to the Superman the movie from 1978. It's a different thing altogether. But remakes,
I can't believe that Scarface is a remake. Well, that's a very good one then. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth also says this happens a lot in Indian cinema. The South and the North side will make movie remakes cause a lot of the North side and South won't watch each other's movie. Yeah. John, I seen that in the comments. I'm glad Ruth said that, because that was in my head and I didn't want to get that wrong and be ignorant and try to stir up,
I've seen it in the comments.
Anything, but
they actually go after each other in the comments and destroy each other. Steve, I don't know if it's a sort of I mean, you spoke to an Indian person on the phone, and you actually mentioned Telepathy, and she didn't have a clue who he was, which blew my mind because I'm from Scotland and I know who he is. Yeah. So clearly there is that sort of ignorance from different regions. They don't watch, so they need a superstar from their region to remake it.
John, that English people wouldn't watch Scottish films and Scottish people wouldn't watch it. It doesn't really come. It's never been that situation here. Steve,
most of them, I mean, you think of my acting heroes, man. A lot are American, but fucking England, Gary Oldman, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Try to think other ones from England. Daniel Day-Lewis, he's from Ireland, isn't he?
Peter Cushing.
Yeah. Some of my
Christopher Lee.
Some of my great acting heroes are from England, so it blows my mind personally. Yeah, Wizard of Oz, I heard I think that was a remake as well. Can't imagine anyone else playing that role. So they can be done, Steve. I presume they can be done right. I don't know if there's perhaps Ruth can throw a suggestion of a North Indian remake of a South Indian movie that is done better.
Just on the subject, just before we do close up though, we will be reviewing the Dinesh film Vada Chennai this Friday. It is available in Prime Video, so it's easy for us to look up. John, I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it tomorrow night, just so I've got it in the.
I like to leave it as late as possible, Stephen, so it's as fresh as hell.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one because I did like the Danish film for Friday.
Assuring you were just speaking about
it. It's getting late. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm glad we went down this trip now because we've done Telepathy, Vijay, I think 5 or 6 films.
3, 4 Vijay
Sefi, yeah. So it's only natural we do some Dinesh as well.
Stephen, I'm looking forward to watching it. I think he's an amazing actor, man. Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed his performance in Azurin, just unbelievable. And don't look, was it Warrior or something? But with an E. the actual actress that played the wife, she was good as well, don't get me wrong. But the Danush is different. He's different gravy, as we like to say here.
Yeah.
Different gravy. Looking forward to this guy in the Grey Man. Looking forward to watching that movie as well. Wickerman remake. The Wicker Man.
I did not misfile.
I did not misfile. Not once. Not once. Just fucking terrible. I love Nick Cage, man. I'm one of the few people on the planet that seems to like Nick Cage now. Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah.
Zany. Different guy. So knowledgeable.
Different gravy. Yeah.
Just different gravy. And so knowledgeable. Knows his stuff. You'd expect that being the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. But that was a fucking terrible movie, man. So nothing. It was like The Fanatic with John Travolta. I'm not putting John Travolta in the same breath as Nick Cage. That's blasphemous. He's not on the same level, I'm sorry. Well, that's going to round the show up, man. I'm done. What do you make about the Indiana Jones news that Toby Jones, pardon the pun, what if he's going to use his actual name and just be a long lost brother of Indy? What do you make about that news that he's starring in the movie as his sidekick? What do you make about the de-aging? What do you make about Jurassic World and all of these scientific, the original trio, all of that stuff? You can comment below if you've got anything to say about that. You can comment about Space Jam, this horrendous idea of Salman Khan's to remake Master. And you can put it down below in the comment section if you've got anything to say. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see us over there. And you will get it, guys. But look, until then, I am done. Stephen's done. Bye-bye. And I will reply to that roof message in the end screen window. She says, and it's just jumped. Gajini, I can't even read that, Stephen. I'm blind as a bat. Starring Amir Khan as a good North Indian remake of a South Indian film starring Surya. Doesn't surprise me. Amir Khan is unreal. He's a great guy, man. Inspirational. Dangal was amazing. The transformation physically. He may have took steroids. He may not have. Still unbelievable. Doesn't surprise me. It's Amir Khan that's done it. But look, bye bye, guys. Bye.